to work with her on many of the critical issues facing our country today. In addition to raising her two wonderful girls, Michelle works hard every day on behalf of all of our children. We are fortunate to have her as our nation's First Lady. Both domestically and on the world stage, she is an amazing role model and mentor to men and women alike. So thank you for having us here tonight. Thank you for being here. You all have done such great work, and now I'm going to ask you to work even harder. We need you to make 10 more calls, send 10 more emails, bring 10 people to the polls, and ask each of those people to bring 10 more. There is so much at stake in this election. Thank you again for what you are doing to support President Obama, my husband Joe, and the entire administration as we continue to fight on behalf of the American people. Thank you.
She is the most powerful woman in the country. She is the most powerful Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. And that was a half a century ago. She inspires and is inspired. She empowers and is empowered. She is fearless. And she is feared. She stared down the health insurance industry and won reform. Bringing health care to most Americans who didn't have it or feared losing it. She stared down the billionaire Wall Street and won reforms to prevent taxpayer bailouts, mortgage ripoffs, and credit card fee abuses. She stared down the banks, reworked the student loan program, and returned $87 billion to the taxpayers and more money for student loans for all students in higher education. There's an old saying that behind every successful man, there's a woman. Well, I think we need to reformat that. In front of many successful men is one woman, Nancy Pelosi.
For your very generous introduction. I accept your compliment on behalf of all of the Democrats in the House of Representatives who made all of those reforms possible under the great leadership of our great President, Barack Obama. Colleagues, and I have to open it right now. And it is, first with a donkey in. I needed that. Now I have everything. I'm all set. Rhinestone, donkey, purse for evening.
Yeah.
But better than that, I have, as wonderful as it is, this incredible California Democratic delegation. Weren't they wonderful? Difference they have made and the difference that you have made. We had chat earlier, so I'm
I'm going to go right to my main purpose now, which is to bring on our special guest. But not before I thank you again for being here with us this evening, being there for us over and over again, and making the change that Jackie Spear talked about possible. I want to say what an honor it is to share representation of the great city of San Francisco with Jackie Spear. She is a great leader. Who's a Phillies fan, we won't say much about how exciting it is to be in the World Series.
Cubs fan.
Jill Biden. Beautiful, inspired presentation. I wouldn't even call it a speech. Sharing the thoughts with us. Let me tell you about another day earlier this spring. We were all gathered in community college in Northern Virginia, the community college where Jill Biden teaches. Because of her leadership on education in our country, it was more than appropriate that she lead the way in what was to become a historic bill signing. The president signed the health care bill, the final product, but within that bill was the biggest reforms in making college affordable for America's working families, and Jill Biden was very much a part of that success. All of us know that innovation begins in the classroom, that this is important for the aspirations of children and young people to succeed in life for themselves, but it's important that innovation to our country too, to keep us competitive, to keep us #1 in the world. And so it was important that that legislation move on the track with the health care bill. And weren't we fortunate, all of us who care about the next generation and how important education is to them and to our country, that the Vice President of the United States on a daily basis heard firsthand from Jill Biden. Not that he needed any reminders, but nonetheless, chapter and verse as to why this was important. So for all of us to sit there at this bill signing, to see Jill Biden preside over it, well, it was quite a remarkable day for what it did and the well-deserved recognition it gave to Jill Biden for her role. Thank you, Jill Biden. What a team they are, Jill Biden, Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama's presence here this evening gives us an opportunity to not only honor her, but to thank her for what she is doing for our country. Every place I travel in the country, and even people who take opinion polls say, one of the things about the president that they really love is that he is a family person. That he's a family person. The president and the first lady are about family. Their family, of course, but every family in America. And whether it's about the education of our children, the economic security of their families, a healthy, safe community in which they can thrive and live, a world in peace where our country is respected and that we move to a safer world for them. In any category you can name about family, Michelle Obama has been an inspiration and an active leader. Community. We go from family to community. And in community, when the First Lady, when Michelle Obama became First Lady, one of her first orders of business was to expand community service in our country. But she not only had an idea, she acted upon it, going all throughout the country encouraging volunteerism and community service. And because of her leadership and the public support she brought to it, we were able to pass the volunteer service bill that was named for Senator Kennedy, but would not have happened without the leadership of Michelle. Remember when she started planting seeds? seeds in the garden in the White House? Remember that? How could you forget? Do you know that across America the sale of packets of seeds went up astronomically? Because not only was she doing what was the right thing, she did it in a way that set an example and others followed. Victory gardens sprung up across America. And that was important for that, but it was important because of what it meant to the health of America's families. So it's important to America's families. She has taken that whole idea about the health of our children, the let's move movement, the let's move, I don't know if we call it a movement, crusade, the idea, the aspiration, the encouragement to young people to move, to exercise, to eat better. Childhood obesity is a challenge to not only those children, but to the health and well-being of our entire country. And nobody has done more to address that issue, and with much more to come, than Michelle Obama. So when we talk about family, whether it's the Obama family, America's families, our military families, let me tell you this. I meet with the veterans organizations and the families, Blue Star families, Gold Star, these families, and they came to see me one day and said they took a survey. They took a survey and among themselves, the families of the military, and they decided that 94% of those families thought that the American people did not understand the sacrifice they were making for our country. Imagine that. These men and women in uniform, so courageous, so patriotic, but their families did not think that we were supported. That would all change when Michelle Obama and Jill Biden went to the White House as First Lady and walked up the Vice President. Their families, our families, America's families, our military families are a high priority for them. Thank you, Jill and Michelle. To see these working moms, young women across the country, these people who are women who share their experience, understand their challenges, understand their aspirations, and show them there is a way to balance career and family. And not only that, but we will have the public policies to match the challenges, relate to the challenges that these families have. I could go on all night about Michelle Obama, and you probably think I will. But it's time for us to hear from her. And again, when you talk about family, you talk about community, you talk about our military families, you talk about childhood, it all comes back to the same subject, our future, our children. And so we're all here tonight. I'm so pleased my granddaughter is younger. She's the youngest, 19 months, Isabella, and my Madeline, who I think came the farthest from Arizona, but I'm not sure about that. But I'm glad that there are many other children here this evening. This is a very special occasion for us in San Francisco to have with us Jill Biden and to be able to welcome and to thank the First Lady, in her, I think, preference, Mom-in-Chief, Michelle Obama.